Howdy, beautiful people. Thank you for tuning in to a brand new episode of Point of View, y'all. It's February, which means we are celebrating Black History Month. And here at AFROTV, we honor and uplift all things Black culture. Before we dive in, let's give a warm welcome to our guest host for today, the infamous Willie Montague.
What's up, Willie?
For the people, for the
Hey,
people.
Willie. Listen, we have so much to discuss in honor of Black History Month. And of course, we have to talk about the 2025 Grammys, which went down just last night. So sit back, relax, and join the discussion. You're watching POV. All right, y'all. So let's kick off this discussion with the question that we as Black people should reflect at least every year during February. Now, this is to make sure that we're keeping our history alive and ensuring that we're making progress moving forward. So I have to ask, what does Black History Month mean to y'all?
Go ahead, Willie. Educate us.
Yeah.
Black History Month mean to me the development of a whole culture. And I think that we have to really focus on economic development and sustainability for the people of color, Black folks. And so that's what it means to me. It's about establishing us and keeping us, because we do have a small percentage here in the United States. And I think that we have to thrive. So that's what it means to me.
I love that.
I think for me, right, I was waiting. I think for me, it's really just like celebrating all things Black, like the entire month, like just everything that we've overcome, just like, even though like I really feel like it shouldn't just be 1 month, but you know, hey, I don't make the rules. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I would agree. It started off as a week, then it migrated to a month, and here we are. We're going to do this thing 365. I think Black history for me is just a time for us to reflect on where we came from, the progress we've made, and where we're looking to go in the future. It's an interesting time in our country right now, so Black history is definitely important, but we shape America. We built this country.
No, for sure. I definitely agree. But, you know, I guess I'm thinking a little bit about everything that's going on in the world today. And as important as I believe 100% that Black History Month is, I also feel like, you know, some other people of color, you know, I hope that they get their shine in the future when the tables turn a little bit from this, because even when you think about all that, you know, Black people have contributed, often like my heart, especially now, but always goes out to Mexican Americans as well. You know, literally, we built a house 3 years ago, and I mean, they were the only ones that we saw there. And when we saw them doing it, we knew that it was getting done right. So, you know, giving them their credit too. But to me, you know, I ain't the one, baby, because I feel like everybody is Black. If you ain't white, to me, you're Black. But when we think about overcoming adversity and inspiring Black people around the world, one moment that stands out is Barack Obama making history as the first Black president of the United States in 2008. Low key, because y'all know that's my word. I'm gonna get rid of it one of these days, but I'm writing it out right now. So I feel like there were other Black presidents a little bit, because some of them people was not all the way white. And to me, if you ain't all the way white, you Black. But he was our first official Black president. How we feel about that?
I would love to stand with you and down that hill, Tally, but
Yeah,
he was the first Black president.
They speculate allegedly.
They did research about John Hanson, who would have been who actually was a president instead of George Washington.
Yeah.
And he was actually Black. If you look on your money.
Was he
on the back,
he was the president?
They said that because of the way race was in that time, they knew he wouldn't be accepted. So they put George Washington as the face, but John Hanson was the one that made the
I know I didn't make that up. I knew
Wow.
I didn't make that up. Okay,
Yeah. The educational system is trash. They don't teach us nothing.
Yes, but that's why you got to do your own
books.
research at home, especially for Black History Month. I think, you know, having, you know, children, my mom in our, you know, household, she made sure that we did our own research. We used to have to, you know, read Black history books and write essays for my mom, and she like legit, judged us and graded us and all of that. So, you know, we had to know a little something. A little bit of it's left me, but as I'm reading now, it's coming back.
Yeah.
So, so how did y'all feel about that, though? I remember during that time I was at this white bar, and everybody just knew that McCain was going to win. And they all got up and walked out when it was Barack, baby.
I was in college. I was actually traveling on my bus for a volleyball tournament, but when the news broke, everybody posted up on our Facebook, like people were celebrating all in the quad, and you know, there was parties everywhere. And just to think like, oh my God, we were alive for the first Black president to be elected was really dope. That was in 2008. You never forget it. My president is Black. My Lambo.
I
I
know
know
the first
right.
Black woman president.
Hey,
Oh,
don't get me cut.
listen, I'm still wounded by that. And don't
Yeah.
you start over here.
Right, okay,
Don't
I'm
you
done.
start there.
I'm sorry. Appreciate that.
So, of course, we have to talk about the Black Lives Matter movement, which began in 2013 in response to the killing of Trayvon Martin. This was a time where we saw the power and unity of togetherness from Black people in our generation.
Yeah.
I used to wish that I was, you know, one of the freedom riders and did the march on Washington, all of that, but it just wasn't for me. So, I mean, Black Lives Matter movement did give me some type of like excitement for our generation.
How did you feel about Black Lives
So I'll say
Matter?
this: I actually marched in a Black Lives Matter protest.
Shut up! Okay, Willie.
Wow, Mr. Montague.
I mean, you learned something.
In downtown Orlando. Where it became an issue for me, however, is when they start to monopolize on the Black Lives Matter movement, the organization.
And then they took it away from us.
That's what bothered me. I felt like when it was really the movement and people, because it was electrifying when we were in downtown. We were just marching and people were with us and everybody was holding hands, Black, white, and different. But the moment that it started being, because, you know, once you start seeing where everybody's wanted, I think we start adding money to it. And then that's why I think it got away from the foundation.
Yeah, I would agree. That is when I got like my political like start, was around the Black Lives Matter movement. I didn't know that you could protest and it be a job. I didn't know that was a career.
Oh, wow.
I just thought people were in the street just making a fuss and making noise, but actually organizing and getting people to actually like advocate for a situation is actually a
Al
rewarding.
Sharpton and Reverend Jesse Jackson, they've been paid all their lives.
You know what? Don't start with me, Willie. We're not gonna do this today. Black History Month, Willie, please.
So to this day, Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech has been one of the most memorable moments in Black history of all times. Let's take a look at this clip.
Because I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. Because I have a dream.
I thank God for that dream. I'm still hoping that it will be a reality soon. We almost there. You
think we almost there?
I think we almost there.
Come on now, Jody.
I think
we almost
you know, my
there.
grandmother's favorite saying was the darkest
living
part
in
of
the same
night
place?
is when day is about to light. So even though it looks really dark right now, I'm really believing that it's about, we almost there. We almost
Yeah.
there.
Your
I
faith
gotta
high,
be thankful.
Sister
Yes.
Tally. Your faith high.
She said we
So even
almost
though we have come a long way, it's sad that we still have to report stories like this happening today. A Black real estate developer was racially profiled right in his own neighborhood at his own home. Take a look at this.
Do you live here? Yeah. You do? I don't believe that.
My God.
I don't believe that. What are you doing? Rory, come on. Rory, come on.
Did someone come here? Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there's a lady screaming. And I'm like,
She got all worried.
That is so disgusting.
Yeah, it
I
is.
can't even I don't have a better word. That is utterly disgusting. I can't even imagine.
I just want to know, like, what, like what do people be thinking when if there wasn't a Ring camera, right, to record the situation? What do people be thinking when they ask people, like, do you live here?
What do white people think? when
What
they
are
ask
you
that
What are you
question?
doing here? Like, are you supposed to be over here? Like, they ask that in grocery parking lots. Like, they ask that question anywhere as if everything belongs to them.
Yeah, Black individuals all the time, you know, go through these type of situations
Yeah.
in predominantly white neighborhoods. And, you know, to be honest, for a long time, I think that I maybe lived below my means because I didn't want to live in a primarily, you know, white neighborhood because I just didn't want to have to go through this. Now it's like, baby, you're going to take it or leave it. But, you know, as you
Okay.
move up, there are people, especially older, white families that despise the fact that you can be young, black, and successful and have houses and cars that they've saved their whole entire life to have.
They gonna have to despise me, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, but they be trying to make trouble sometimes.
Well, this goes back to what I said before, is if black people will start developing their own and owning their own, we won't have these issues. We got to start buying up the block, buying up the city, but whatever we need to do, we have ability to do that. If you look at the Native Americans, they have a whole, what is the name of it? Not reservations, another name that they call it, that they
Their
take,
land?
but it's not called a reservation. It's something else. I was just watching a documentary, and they basically own the land outright. There is no taxes paid to
Well, let's
any
be clear
federal
though,
government.
Will. They were here before any of us. Like, this is their native land. So when you say that black people should build their own towns and have buildings and stuff, we need to have access to the capital in order to do that. But there's a lot of white folks in power that still prohibit us from owning such land.
So they say that they were here, and I want to go back. Copper tone people, the Indians were named Indians because they believed when they bought Christopher Columbus here because they knew the route, and they believed that America was on the back of India. That's how come they became Native American. So really, they copper tone people was us.
I got to do a little bit of research on that. But we have to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back after this with Girlfriend's Guide. An unpopular opinion. Stay tuned. You're watching POV.
What's up, family? Thanks so much for tuning in at home and so on social media. Y'all know it's the beginning of the week, and I got a question for you and for the table. So if y'all won $10 million today in 5 minutes, what is the first thing you're going to go purchase?
I'm going to buy me a nice big plot of land, and I'm going to build some homes for my entire family on it, baby. We're going to farm. I hope nobody don't pass away and have to be buried on the land, so we just don't have to pay no taxes.
How did this Right. It was beautiful until it wasn't. Plots and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, me too. I'm not gonna do exactly that, but I do want to have my own like hotel or like my own apartment building. So that's like something I would definitely invest in. But first, I'm buying me a home, and I'm buying my immediate family a home. Like everybody gets a home. You get a home. You get a home. Yeah, everybody gonna have their own home paid for, done.
And they better not ever ask for nothing.
Don't ask me for nothing. I housed you. Okay, I gave you shelter.
No food, no nothing.
Nope. You could. Hey. I provided the roof.
I'm gonna
can put everything else.
I believe I reinvest. Probably similar. Just reinvest back into the community, as I said. So.
You're gonna have a monument of House of Timothy, huh?
A bunch of houses.
With a statue of me.
Oh, an idol, huh?
Lord, Lord, we don't want you to have to fall now.
Wow.
Well, I would say the same thing. I would build a compound for my family so that we wouldn't have to worry about that generational wealth.
For sure.
I love that. We some smart people, y'all. Yes. Well, y'all drop y'all's answers down in our comments. We'll get back to POV right now.
Welcome back. It's that time of the show. We're talking about all things love, life, and relationships. Let's get into Girlfriend's Guide. All right, so the 2025 Grammy Awards went down last night, and it was truly amazing to see Black artists finally getting their flowers. But one couple completely broke the internet, and not in a good way. Kanye West and his wife, if that's what you call her, all due respect, okay, Beyonce Sensori hit the red carpet, and she was practically, literally naked. Now, of course, this has sparked major debate, because the man, like, what man would get comfortable showcasing his wife like that? Like, did y'all see it?
I did. But I mean, do you expect anything less? It's Kanye. Kanye is always going to be a wild card. No matter how long he's been in dormant, the brother going to come out and just show his behind. And in this case, He allowed his wife.
Yeah, and I think I messed up her name. I've been hearing myself talk
Bianca.
Bianca. And she really is a puppet because it gives every single time that he is making her do this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is ridiculous. At first, we thought that she was Kim K, but Kim K got a little bit of dignity at least.
A little bit.
Yeah, so Kanye has not attended the Grammys in 10 years. Allegedly, they were not invited, and so they were kicked out, and they came just for the red carpet, and that was it.
I mean, do you blame them though? Because who finna let her sit on the seats with her cheeks like that?
No, for real.
She had on
A
a
fur
very
coat.
sheer dress and a fur coat. Honestly,
That should.
I'm gonna
called
be
a
the one to
grace.
say it. I'm gonna be the one to say it.
You would wear that, Junior? Is what you finna say?
Oh no, I wouldn't
Oh.
wear it. But let's just think back in what fashion really is. You know, Kanye is a fashion icon, right? So when he has his wife, who is practically his Barbie doll, you know, like he's gonna put her in whatever. Like I've seen her clothed and I've seen her completely naked, as we all have on social media. You know, so she came in. You know, they did what they were supposed to do. Kanye is a genius. Let's not forget that. He is literally.
So this is a part of a
genius.
marketing strategy, you think?
I absolutely think it's a part of a marketing
I wonder if you're trying to
strategy.
take it back to Adam and Eve.
Child.
I don't know about that,
Not you
Tabby,
thinking your
but
head.
I will say everywhere that they go, like it's for a moment. Like however they're dressed, however she's dressed, it's to do this. It's to get a moment.
So do we think Bianca's red carpet look was a personal choice, or do we believe Kanye had a hand in it? I feel like he had a hand in it.
It could have been both. She might like. To
I feel
show
like she's
herself.
going along with it now, and
Can we talk back to when Rihanna popped out and she was fully naked under her sequence dress?
but she didn't drop the coat.
She didn't have she had her coat was actually, it wasn't a coat. It was like a raccoon fur or something.
Whatever it
And
was, she
very
left something
thin.
to the imagination.
Were they fined for this? Is my question. Is there a penalty for this?
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
know.
actually.
Because remember when Amber Rose did that whole Free the Nipple campaign? So I think the nipple is free now. I don't think they can charge her for that.
Nipples. Both of them.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna say I approve of the outfit, but I mean when you think of the people and who it is, then you know what.
Now,
you're
what if a
gonna get.
man came out with a little patch over his penis? Would that be
No,
permissible?
it wouldn't have been a patch because she didn't have a patch, so he would have had to have it all out.
Yeah, I would just say that's his prerogative.
I'm not gonna lie, I do know if he was a male, for sure it would have been indecent exposure. For sure. Like that just
So
wouldn't
there
have
won't
down.
be the difference. So see, this goes back
I
to
think-
where we need to have equal rights for men as well.
Oh, that's what you think.
Well,
You're doing good, Black History Month. All right.
Because if she can go out there, it should be the same way. We shouldn't be complaining. Because if it's true, if a man go out there, it's going to be indecent exposure, and he's not only going to get a fine, it's going to be some kind of legal action taken.
Yeah.
I think
Now,
the jacket saved her this time because she got through everything with that jacket on, and then she dropped it.
Yeah. But do we think that a woman's appearance should change after marriage? Or do
Yes,
we
I
think
do.
that this is some holy matrimony that
That's
they're
what
in?
happened
Do
with.
we think that?
That's what happened with Pastor Franklin.
I knew you was gonna bring them up, Megan Good.
And Megan Good is she went out there inappropriately to him because remember that's her husband, and if this is not what he wants his wife to look like, that should really matter. And
What's she doing now?
So what?
What's she doing now?
What's she doing now? She hanging everything out now. 'Cause
Oh,
she
okay.
with Jonathan. What's his name?
Mayor.
She is not hanging everything
She
out.
out
You
there.
see a little shoulder, a little belly button.
Now she's singing "I'm every woman."
You know what?
I am
It's all.
so
Don't do Sister Megan. She is living her good life. She is. Okay.
So
Well, I think there should be some type of revisions. I don't think, it
To
depends on
respect
what
the relationship,
Correct.
Like not
Marriage,
be,
not
well,
this
oh,
relationship.
excuse me, the marriage.
yeah.
You know, like to respect the marriage. There should be, some level of respect for your partner. Absolutely, like you wouldn't want your partner to go out, dress in any kind of way. So, you should expect the same, standard for yourself. So absolutely, I agree with that. But controlling what someone wears on an everyday basis, I don't agree with that.
You too. I would let her do whatever she wants to when she leave. That don't mean she coming back.
It shouldn't always have to be, I'm going to put this on and I'm going out with my friends.
Look,
like,
you can go out how
wear
you
it.
want. That don't mean you coming back in my house.
I think
till
that you
figure
should
out what you
be
doing out
free
there.
to a certain extent to express yourself through your
Yeah.
wardrobe
Yes.
respectfully in moderation.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you should just be able to wear a pasty around here and you got a man and you got a thong on and all of that. Like, no,
Unless he like that.
Yeah, at home.
unless he Kanye. Okay. So now it's time for our final segment of the day, unpopular opinion. Carolyn Levitt made her White House debut as the new press secretary, addressing questions on how the new Trump administration plans to celebrate Black History Month this February. Let's take a look at her response.
As we're dealing with anti-DEI, anti-woke efforts, we understand this administration is thinking about celebrating Black History Month. Have you got any word on that? Anything that you can offer to us?
As far as I know, this White House certainly still intends to celebrate, and we will continue to celebrate American history and the contributions that all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed, have made to our great country. And America is.
As we're dealing with anti-DEI.
Some people feel like Carolyn completely discredited and dismissed Black History Month.
She didn't even say black. Like,
Exactly.
she didn't even say the word black.
Exactly.
Okay, she did not. If you actually go back and listen to this video, she clearly
Oh,
said,
Lord, it's your people, Willie.
she,
It's your
she
people.
continued to say, we will continue to celebrate. Stop. Then she said, and then American history. She's saying we will continue to celebrate Black history because remember, everybody said he's canceling all Black History Month stuff. They came out on December 31st and put out a proclamation on the whitehouse.gov website that said we are announcing and acknowledging Black History Month for 2025.
Willie. Somebody got to do it, Willie. That's not what we talking about, okay?
No.
We talking about Miss Levitt, leave it, whatever. She should have left it where she left it.
She-
Because we're not talking about that, okay? We're not talking about Trump right now. We are specifically talking about Miss, what is her name?
And
Levitt,
she
Carolyn.
represents Trump. She's the press
Yes,
secretary.
but we're talking about why she couldn't say black because they asked her about Black History Month. Ain't nobody asked her about American.
Then if she would have said black, y'all would have said, well, why did she say black that
No,
way?
we
Like
wanted
it's like
her. We wanted her to
No.
recognize what we were
Please.
talking about.
No, I feel like she was very.
How many
She
of
tried
you-
to make it general.
How many of y'all
We
out there
weren't
don't
talking
know what
about
Black
general.
history is by now? She got to say black for y'all to know you're black.
No, it's not about that. It's
She
about
tried
the
to
fact that-
generalize the statement, and that's not what the question was.
Are we not black in America?
Lord, listen,
know
where
what?
I'm at with it is the fact that Carolyn Levitt tried to be so specific and so savvy in a sense to generalize it and say American history, and then
Yeah.
we have the White House's announcement that they're going to celebrate or acknowledge Black History 2025. That in itself, read between the lines. They taking this one day at a time, but we don't know what 2026 gonna hold.
I think it's disgusting for any Black person to uphold the rhetoric that Miss Carolyn Levitt spewed to the American people.
About you, Willie.
Intentionally, intentionally avoiding the word black.
Hello.
The word black is not a.
She did it on purpose.
The word black.
But
Exactly.
we don't need a
You
press
are
secretary.
a black man.
Right, but I know
Say it
that.
with me. I am a black
I know that.
man.
I'm an Aborigine. I do not need for her to confirm that in me is what I'm saying.
That is fair. However, the country is now having DEI rolled back, which all of us who are at this table benefited from. You, my Black brother, have benefited from DEI. Carolyn is saying that the White House is no longer going to offer DEI to people that look like me and you.
She did not use those words.
In another press conference she has. And we can talk about this next
That's
week.
fake news.
We can talk about this next week.
We will carry it on.
we will
But
continue this.
next week. You got that right.
And how do we feel? How do we feel when people emphasize all history opposed to Black history?
It's shameful.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Really.
Now I will agree with that. I believe that we do need to distinguish that there's Black history.
Oh, but you don't need nobody to confirm that.
But I
either.
don't need it to be confirmed for me to know that it is who I am. That's what I'm trying to say. We don't need his
We don't need that
administration
permission.
to do that.
Absolutely. However, we have done this for years now. He is rolling back civil rights things that were in place in 1964 from Lyndon B. Johnson.
Right, let me go.
So
Well, he
now-
got to. He the one that said that he gonna have all black people. I can't
We
say
can
a
go there
word.
next week. Not right now.
Look, y'all, cut it. I see y'all. Love you.
No, no, listen, but my real thought is living in a time where, you know, they want to erase Black history in schools and everything else, and possibly Black History Month coming up here in 2026. How are we supposed to, you know, accept the generalization of all history when they want to take out Black history, but still think that it's including us?
But this is what we're asking for. We're asking for a government to tell us how to go. We are the people that can do it ourselves. We got to go out there and show them we are the Black people with power.
It's still
You're right, you're right. You know what we need to do? We need to be like them 500 white men that came up that escalator the other day with a mask on their face.
Put on a cowboy hat and put on cowboy powder and ride it on out.
Okay, all right. And
Get her done.
Because I'm black, y'all. Because I'm black, y'all. I'm bliggity, black, y'all.
We ready to go.
Listen, that is a wrap for today's show. All month long, we're going to be carrying on and sharing powerful quotes from influential Black figures to honor their legacy. This quote is from Barack Obama. Change is never easy, but always possible. And on that note, thanks for tuning in and watching POV. Good night.
Bye.